if you're one of those people out there that they have a lot of ideas, want to turn those ideas into apps using AI, but you don't know how to do it, you don't know where to start. You see everyone is doing it all around you, but you cannot do it, or you get frustrated, you know where to start, what are the tools, how to do it. This video is for you. So this is a tutorial, a series of videos that will help you, guide you through the process of creating a business and using AI to build that business. And I mean build that business, meaning if you have an idea how to turn it into an app or a web app or a mobile app without knowing how to code. This is a video that is meant for people, normal people, that don't understand how to code and have no ideas. I will cover everything. And this is the first video of them all, which is the basics. We're going to cover the basics. Maybe if you are too advanced, you might skip it to the second video. So we will cover everything you need. And by the end of the last video, we will have a working app. So I came up with an idea of an app, and I will use that idea of the app to be built with this tutorial. So if you stay and watch this video, I promise you by the end of the video, you will understand everything you need to create your application, turn your idea into business using AI, and explain in plain English, no technical jargon, for normal people. Your grandma can do it. So how do I know this? Is because I've been building application for a while, and before I was going to technical people, and now since these tools appeared in the market, this AI tool, I've been building them myself. To give you an idea, in the past 2 months, I built around 15 different applications that I will share somewhere. But now we're going to focus on this tutorial. This tutorial can be used for any AI builder. I will focus this one based on lovable.dev, which is the one I love and I recommend you guys to use. Before jumping into touching Lovable, there is this basic we need to understand. I think to get better results, I would highly recommend you to follow the recipe of this video. You can go YOLO and just start typing and see what you get, or you can take maybe a few more hours, think it through. When you start talking to AI, you have a clear idea and well-defined, the product is going to be better. So let's start with the basics. So the first thing I want to say is Lovable is a tool that builds a complete website. And I'm going to mean like Squarespace. I mean like a Facebook. I mean like an Instagram. I mean, if you have patience, you can build something like Netflix if you want. Of course, it's going to be an MVP. It's not going to be polished. It's going to be made by AI. So there will be things that if it goes successful, if you create a successful business, you have to polish it. You can bring you humans or AI advanced match to a point that they can do the cleaning itself. So this initial stage is to create an MVP, which is in terms most viable product, which is how every startups begin. Now, every human being, anyone can actually talk to an AI and get a product, depending how hard it is, in a weekend. I did a video, I'm going to leave it somewhere, talking about those builders. My recommendation is, well, with Lovable. So the first thing we need to understand is they are building a full application. Forget about mobile web. Application means users use your application, you charge them, for example, or you don't charge them if it's free. I think the first concept, I would say that for non-technical people, they need to understand there are, I think, basically two parts of a system, which is the front end and the back end. Front end is where everyone looks at. The interface, when you put www Facebook, is what you see. The interactions, all this is the front end. The back end is whatever is behind, how you store this data, the access the user have, who can do what, where, etc., etc., etc. Which in the past was very complicated because most of us can go to Squarespace and create a nice website, just drag and drop. And when we start thinking, hey, what is the engine? What is running behind? Because we are not technical, we don't know. Again, we don't have to know anymore. AI will take care of that. And I will explain in my videos how easy it is for anyone to build something like a mini Facebook, or if you want to build a Patreon page, or if you want to duplicate. Not saying that you should. Again, disclaimer, I'm not saying you go and copy someone else, although there are people that are buying that model and just go take a model that is already proven, making it 1% better and create a product cheaper, faster. Anyway, front and back end, very important. Let me take a look at my notes. First, why Lovable? Lovable is a tool that I love. I made a full video about it. I'm going to say it, but I'm showing here some of the previews of the things that people have built with Lovable, and you can actually go to their page. I'm going to leave my link below, my Lovable link below. So if you register with my link, I'll get free credits, no cost to you. It's just a way you can say thank you to me. And I'm showing you right now on screen, right here somewhere, all the things that people actually build. And I'm going to try to find something that is nice. So let's preview this one. Someone created a dashboard that is actually working. So again, this is for me front end because you see and you can touch stuff. And then what is behind, how this information is stored, how you make your users, all these stuff I'm going to explain in my video. So this is why Lovable. Lovable is extremely simple to use. Just a chatbot, where we're not a chatbot, just a chat that we are all used to. Now they have ChatGPT integration, which is great. So you talk, you ask for stuff, and the AI will do it. Of course, some of you might already try and get frustrated because you run into a bug and you know how to talk. I'm also going to explain how I talk to AI, how I structure the data to get what I want. Okay, let's continue. So that's one. The other thing we need to talk about that we will come to, it will become important, is mention the parts where these tools interact to. So on one side, we have Lovable, which is the one we're going to use to build our idea. And then we have I think three more critical components. The back end. Where is the back end? Where is the user data going to be stored? Lovable has an integration, what is called SupaBase, which is another young company that is, competing with companies like Amazon Web Services or MongoDB. They have a direct connection with Lovable via MCP. MCP is a language where, I think it's MCP, Model Context Protocol. The potential of that is huge because you can integrate basically everything these days. So I highly recommend you to create an account in SupaBase. It's free. SupaBase. Okay, pricing. SupaBase is free. So you can create up to 2 projects with SupaBase, just something you will need. So you will need your Lovable account, you will need your SupaBase account. I think I will also leave my SupaBase link below if you want to log in with they will get free credits from me, which is great. And I think up to 3 applications. Let me see. I think you can have, for free. And then every new app you create, if you're like me, I have 15 applications, you pay $10 per month, and then consumption, which is not costly. If you compare with Squarespace, they charge you $25, or if you compare with another Webflow, which charges around $45, this is extremely cheap. The other thing you will need to do, then all the things, so you have the Lovable account, you have the SupaBase account, is the GitHub account. Why is GitHub important? Let me go to GitHub. GitHub is important because this is where when you connect your Lovable project to GitHub, you will have access to the code, meaning that you can give access to someone to your code to polish it. If you're pay advanced, you can actually connect your IDE. I talk in a video about an IDE is, meaning like something like Cursor, and just polish your code. So you can actually attack your code from many angles, depending on how experienced you are. So you will need a GitHub account. It's free. Be sure to keep the passwords and everything secure because this is where the major parts of your code is going to be stored. And I can show you an example. In the screen, I have cloned a repository for Discourse because I wanted to do something for my wife, which is, I think Discourse, the platform is like a chat. And I just copy it. And basically what you have here, what you can see in the screen, is a bunch of code and pages and components and stuff that made a website. Everything is here except the database. So you need to follow these steps. Number 1, go to create a Lovable account. If you can use my link, great. Go to create a SupaBase account. If you can use my link, great. If there is a link. And then you go and create your GitHub account. I think you will have to create your GitHub account before you create the SupaBase account so you can log in, but just do it. That's step number 1. So if that's homework for you. The next thing we need to cover about this tutorial is I'm gonna be focusing on web applications, meaning that you can run in a browser in your computer. However, because Lovable builds with React, which is a language, I think, if I'm not mistaken, those can be turned into web applications later. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You can use something like, wait a second. So you can use something like rock.com or org.com to create just a mobile app, but you don't have the web desktop application. So my recommendation is we start with Lovable. You can build a great desktop application that everyone can access, and then that's mobile ready. That would be great, will look great on mobile, and then you wrap it up, and then you put it in the Apple Store and in the Google Play Store. I'm gonna sip some coffee. So coffee done. So that's important. So we're gonna be focusing this on web desktop applications, which is basically how everything starts. 18 minutes, fuck. But this is a thing, and I say this to everyone. So the moment I start building this application, I start posting online, and my friends and family and some people that I know start, hey, I have this idea. How do I do it? So I start sitting with them, just going through this. Some of them told me, hey, I tried to do it myself. but it was so frustrating. I got into this error because I don't know what to do. Like I go to Lovable, I put this and I click, but I cannot log in. It's because, yeah, you're missing this or you're missing that. The other big concept that we need to discuss is APIs. So in order for you to interact with other services, let's say you want people to be able to sign into your website via email, via Google Sign In, via GitHub, or via Apple. We all do it. We all try to go to an app and we see sign in and we sign with our credential, with authentication, social authentications. You can do that. You can do that via an API. So basically, APIs and is another concept we need to get familiar with, which is how we communicate with Google, how we communicate with ChatGPT or OpenAI if we want to use AI in our applications. And I'm going to explain exactly how to get APIs, how to connect APIs, how you can tell Lovable, how to talk to those APIs in a very simple English way that anyone can understand. Of course, I'm using English when I'm meaning non-technical, any way that non-technical people can understand. So again, my promise is if you watch all these videos and if you follow them, and if you take your time, they're going to be long. And if you follow this as a recipe, by the end of those videos, you should be able to sit and produce something. And the only favor I would ask, if you see someone that is also trapped with ideas trapped in their head and want to do it, just share with them. Don't gatekeep. There is no reason why in this planet we need to stop gatekeeping this stuff. Before for people that like me that was the idea guy, it was very hard to realize something. It's if I had an idea, I would write it down and I would think normally would go with technical friend or technical people that I know and say, hey, I have this idea of how to do it, and they will like, oh well, gatekeeping. Or you will go to a developer and they will charge you quite a lot. And the difference when you have these ideas, you want to put it in practice, you don't know if they're gonna work. Like, yes, there are Facebook, there are things like went ballistic, like Lovable as well, but you don't know if your idea will work. Most of the ideas won't work. That's the thing. So you need to create them fast, show it to people fast, and see how those react to your idea. And the last thing I want to say about ideas: don't be afraid to share it. There is a very huge misconception about sharing ideas. I'm going to share an idea for an app that we're going to build through this kind of tutorial. By the end of the video, if you replicate the tutorial, you should be able to build the same app. So what? Right? There is no reason why we should be keeping those. So let's move to the next point. So APIs, I'm gonna do a video how to do it. I might do another video on basically only APIs, troubleshooting things like how do I do with SupaBase, how I set it up. There will be a video about it. There will be a video how I set up the API keys. There will be a video how to troubleshoot the common things I run into. All of it will be covered in this tutorial. And then the last part of this video will be to focus on the preparations to build your application. Now, I hope the concepts are clear. I hope they are. So you have the front end, the back end, Lovable, SupaBase, you have GitHub, you have APIs, you have the desktop app versus the mobile app and which one to build first. And now we go to the point where, okay, I want to just start using Lovable. I'm going to go YOLO and start typing. I want you to build me this. It will do wrong. It will do terribly bad things. You will be frustrated in less than a minute because you're not if you go on YOLO and you say, build me this without nothing, it will give you what the AI think you want, not exactly what you want. So before even touching Lovable, I would highly recommend you to do this, which is, I call it the 5-day idea vomit. Sorry, that's how I call it. So basically what you do is you have this idea in your mind that you probably had for a long time, but the only difference, you start activating that idea. You take a notes, you can be a paper, whatever, your cell phone, you start thinking, oh, I wanted to do this. I want the user to feel this, or to every idea, just to put everything in one big note. What he wants to do, how it looks like, what are the colors that you want. If you find a reference, you can create a meta board. You put all the references, visual references that you want. Take 5 days. I normally do that. Sometimes I don't. So once those 5 days is over, right? You have a good idea what your app does. What you do next is you're gonna create kind of a blueprint. There are two ways of doing it. One, you can use my app, which is called, one app I created also with Lovable. It's called VibeBlocks, which basically, I will leave the link below. VibeBlocks, what it does is you go and talk to a chat. It will ask you 5 questions. It will ask about your idea, and it will build a blueprint. And then these blueprints will be technical, the same way a developer will build those blueprints. And then it will be you the prompts that you should copy paste into something like Lovable or whatever AI builder that you have. It's in beta, so I don't promise it's great, but you can use it for free. I'm going to leave the link below. The alternative to that is you go to ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT to create this for you. And the way to do it is via a PRD. What is a PRD? It's a product requirement document, right? Basically, what it does is write down everything your app will do, everything your app does, the users, everything. So it's a requirement document. So you basically can go to ChatGPT, I use ChatGPT 5, which is the best model. Say, hey, what's a PRD? What are the things I need? This is what I want to build. And you copy paste everything that you had in the file that is inside. You paste it, everything. And then you start, hey, I want to build this application. The name is this, the color is this. I wanted to do that. Create me a very comprehensive, you have to say comprehensive, not summarized, PRD with technical descriptions, and then give me some prompts so I can prompt to AI. Once you have that document, once you read that document and say, okay, you're going to fine tune it. You're going to say, oh, this is wrong. Keep telling the AI to make it comprehensive, don't summarize. Once you get to that document, you copy paste it into a Word, and that will be the basis to start working with Lovable. Why this is important? Because Lovable will use this information to actually build what you actually want it to build. So you cannot go and copy paste all of that into Lovable because it's very long probably. There are ways that Lovable has to allow you to, and I will show you in the next video, which is basically hands-on video, how to allow you to put this into practice. So to recap, this is the first video of a series of videos that will help you through the process of creating an app. I'm gonna choose an application to build, an idea. I'm gonna develop this idea throughout the videos and explain you exactly when I connect. Like I will show you how you can build your application the same way I would do it. It's gonna be probably 9 videos long, something like that, because each topic is different. And first, you're going to be the first version that is not going to be great. Then I call sculpting. Basically, you sculpt your application to look like, then it's troubleshooting, there is design, there is connection, there is API, there is testing, there is using, there is this full thing you need to do, like a simple steps that anyone can follow. And by the end of those videos, if you watch them, you will know exactly if you can repeat that model, you can build any application that you want. And maybe if you need something else or something else, I'm very active on X. I'm going to leave my socials and I can guide you through because I basically try everything. So this is the first video of the series. I hope this is useful. I hope this is kind of a useful for someone. Maybe if you're advanced, might be too simple, which is okay. Because this is, again, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I noticed there is a lot of people, friends, people I know that, oh, I try, but it's frustrating. I don't know how to do this. And it's actually very simple. And sometimes I show, oh, but you should do this. Oh, that was it. Yes. One big example, sometimes you want to activate Stripe, right? Which is one of the APIs. You want to charge your clients. I always recommend to use Stripe. But this is a function in Stripe that I struggle many times, which is when you activate your user, be able to manage their subscription. And sometimes you try to debug. And the simple thing is you have to go to Stripe and switch one thing that says allow client dashboard, something like this. And that's it. That make it work. Or allow wallet management, something simple. What it was? Stripe. Okay, I know what it is. This function. Sometimes I was struggling so much and it's like trying to review the code with Stripe, for example, and there was this customer portal function that you can activate. And I was thinking, oh, I click this button and do nothing. I click this button and do nothing. I debug. And then at the end of the day, I had to go to Stripe and just switch a tiny thing. And that's it. I will make it work. So that will be also covered in the video, which is for me really important. So the next video is going to be hands-on. It's going to be from the moment we're going to set up Lovable. We're going to set up all the things we need to start working on the app. And then going to share the idea of the app that we're going to build through this series. I hope that's useful. And if you think this is useful, of course, you can subscribe. You can share with people. The more people can realize they can turn an idea into something, maybe the next Facebook will come from that. Maybe someone can, start doing what they love because they have an idea was impossible to do before. Maybe someone in areas where the access to technology is not great, they can actually do this and just boost, the communities around them. We don't know. And it's so simple that I hate when we see this thing online. Oh, I did this application, and the people gatekeep how they do it. I think that's bad. This is something. This is knowledge that should be shared. So if you have an idea of your friend, families, girlfriend, sister, mother, brother has an idea and wants to put it to practice, you can either help them create it. Like my wife has a great idea, so sometimes I just go, or teach them how to do it. That's the idea. So this is the first video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's not long. It's like 30 minutes. See you in the next one.